piece I put myself inside, and each piece I have to put upside down because well, winter time, if it's water inside, it's gonna be freeze and break.
So where did the pieces come from?
Pieces come from everywhere. To me, it's very symbolic. See, Southern One Pot is our ceramic show for 28 years. And the 28 years we are unknown potter, but if we put all together, it makes some impact. It's a sort of like a longhouse. You know, longhouse is a community place, people gathering. So I wanted to make a same spirit. We have a many party, dinner party, concert, potters they come for wedding. It's just like a demonstration for artists. But when it's a group, it becomes a movement. You have to come.
Okay.
28 feet branch.
Uh-huh.
And where it's a step, it's a 26 feet. And also step is getting narrower. And then I have another wall, it's a narrow. And in the end, I have a more narrow space. So you feel it's very going like deep, but it's not so deep. It's getting narrow, so I have to make structure lower and lower. I made the angle of my tower exactly same.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. On a foggy day.
And this is an angel. This is a warrior. This is made from Jardin Bisson. And this chandelier is made from a box string. So this is also Jardin. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm working many parts with the Jardin. This is a secret door. I have a water system and mist come down. Gardening, it takes a lot of time because we need to create with the nature, not just yourself.
So the link between the potter and the consumer.
I'm a maker and you are a user. If you are not using, it's not really worth creating. Otherwise, you know, this doesn't have any life. I'm an immigrant. I come from a different country, and I'm looking how Canadians they're kind to accept me to as a leader for Southern One Pot or group show for 28 years. I have to work hard to be as a good potter, as a good friend.
It's a good time to think about what it is that you're actually going to make with this ball of clay, and it just kind of gets you in the groove.
I was born in 48. That's why it left maybe a scar in my heart that the year I was born, my country lost its life. I was given life and it lost theirs. So I named it Renaissance. It's a painting on porcelain. As if the embroidery had a rebirth to transform itself on porcelain. Very old, this art of embroidery. That's why we have to reclaim it, because it belongs to the Canaanites, and the Canaanites are the original people of the Palestinians. I fire this so that the paint stays. It's exactly like the kiln that you use for pottery. Yes, and I get the napkins now.
Okay. My mom never bought art, but her thing was ceramics. She would always collect. And every piece she bought had a symbolic meaning to it.
When people are touched with what they see, the beauty they see, and they start asking questions, this makes people get together and understand each other, and they can talk from heart to heart. And when you talk from heart to heart, there is a difference. This one also is a chest panel, a bridal chest panel, from a dress, embroidered dress, and they are all symbols. Symbols. It is the eye, for the to protect the evil eye, and this is the Islamic symbol with the crescent and the star. This is the fish, symbol of Christianity, and this is the hand of Fatima that protects the heart. And all this is like the water running in life, and it's all symbolism. So they used to put it on the chest to protect their chest. Each one has a name and a symbol. It symbolizes the right of return.
Lost in it. You just get completely consumed with what your hands are doing and what you're feeling. Your fingertips become your receptor. It's not so much what you're seeing as what feeling in your hands. The uniqueness of working with clay is how responsive it is to the slightest touch. If you touch it just right, it'll behave and it'll do what you want it to do. It's like having all this magical power in your fingertips. Clay is an expression of yourself. As a therapist, if you choose certain ways for a patient to work at a technique, it becomes a therapeutic tool.
But don't you think anything people do with their hands is therapy?
I believe there's a tremendous amount of value from working with your hands.
Yes,
and you can,
you forget yourself.
That's it. When I started working with clay, it was because another occupational therapy friend of mine said, let's do this for fun.
That's how people start.
That's how people got
and then it takes over their life.
Yes, that's what happened to me. It
Yeah,
just took
yeah.
over. I would walk into your class, take off my watch, put on my apron, and 3 hours would just zoom by.
People see a pot somewhere, and it just triggers something in them. All those old crafts display a lot about the people of that time.
You can't do this craft
Yes,
if you're not
yes,
a patient
yeah,
person. Learning along the way all the potential pitfalls, like you
Yes.
could lose a pot, while you're throwing it, while
Yeah.
you're tooling it,
Yeah,
while
yeah.
you're firing
Yeah.
it, after you've
Yeah.
glazed it. It's only clay. It's only a pot. Coming to terms with those losses along the way and how you navigate that and how you let it go, I think that's the real life lesson
And
of
there's
life.
so much to learn.
Yes.
There's so much to learn.
Yeah.
When I discovered pottery at
Yeah.
McDonald College, I wanted to know where the material came from and how practical it was. And because I was a chemist, and because I knew the red clays in Nova Scotia, because that was where I came from, I was immediately trying to put it all together.
But when you got into making pots, how old were your kids?
Leslie, how old were you when I started making pots?
I was probably about 4. It was probably pretty challenging bringing up 4 kids and they're coming and going and then trying to pot after. And at the time, she was potting big orders.
I always felt that you had an eye out for me
Yes.
to accommodate me and to, as I always said, open a lot of doors for me.
Do you think your kids saw your passion?
No, I don't think anybody wants to be involved in anything that's messy.
But do you think?
I think it translated differently in different generations. So for my mom, she looked at it from the chemist and very practical and the materials. And then you translate it to another person down the line in a family, and they approach things very differently and think in a different way around social issues. For me, it certainly translated into gardening. I have to have my hands in the soil all the time, so very much earth and soil is important to me.
So pottery can map your social relationships.
Yes. Yes.
These are your books, Sheila.
Drawing the pot.
So if you ever miss a pot, you know
I know where it
find
is,
it
and
on
so
the
all the people that got these pots, and
Yeah.
all their names
Oh.
are here. Very old. This I made when I was a student in occupational therapy at McGill, and I was cleaning up the studio, and
It
I
adds to your
said,
history.
this has to come out. This is where it all started.
Yeah.
So that's my first pot. Okay, we're going to go up the stairs, and I'll get the other side. Okay. Good.
Whoops.
Don't worry.
Artists become famous after they passed away. So it was not very encouraging words. So.
And the picture directly behind Morris is by his father.
Oh.
So after I retired, I'm sort of writing and painting and going back to things I probably should have done in the first place.
As a kid, I loved crafty things, making things, doing things with my hands. I know my father recognized it, but it wasn't encouraged.
That was what you came up to see.
The award that I got, I was one of the first potters that they contacted in terms of making a donation. So I said, of course, no problem. And then I recruited other potters. Potters feel that they are making a contribution. They don't all have a lot of money to write a check for a donation, but they all have bowls.
I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need you. You need me, man, I don't need. Give it to me, you need me, man, I don't need you.